We're going over the top 5 moves to turn your opponent quickly. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do each one, and we're going to break each one of them down. That's coming up next. We're starting things off very simple by going over the cut, or some call it the magic circle, and this is a fantastic move to turn quickly away from your opponent if he's coming from one side. You want to be as quick as possible with this move, and this usually works when you're going more at speed, because then your opponent has to slow down and stop, which gives you the opportunity to turn and move away from him. Make sure you're using the foot that is on the other side of where your opponent is when you're doing this move. You want to quickly cut suddenly, don't telegraph it, and then accelerate away. And this should be enough to create that yard of space for you to get away from your marker so that you can either move into the space you've just created or pass it off to a teammate. Following the trend of simple ways to turn, we're going over the cut on the inside of the foot now, or the chop. Now I'm giving you 2 ways to do this, where you can do either a complete chop as a 180, or you can take 2 quick touches. Now I actually prefer the 2 touches because you're taking the ball away from your opponent first and then turning, while when you're doing the 180, you just have to rely on speed and cunning to beat your defender with that. But both are very useful, and it's worth learning both techniques. This is another great move to use when you're running at speed, because you can quickly chop it back or use the 2-touch chop in order to make your opponent slow down, and so you can turn into that space and then pass it off, cross it, move into the space, or whatever it is you want to do. Again, with this one, speed is very key. Whether you're doing the 180 chop or you're taking the 2 touches, you need to do this quickly and turn out fast, or your opponent will have time to recover and take the ball from you. I personally like this type of cut much better than the first cut we went over, or magic circle. However, they're both incredibly useful and valuable, so it is worth learning both moves. The next move we're covering is one of my personal favorite skill moves out of all skill moves in the sport, and that is the Cruyff. Not only do I love to use this move in order to turn, but also to fake shots, to fake crosses, to fake passes. It's just such a useful move to have in your repertoire. Now the Cruyff is a little bit different than the first 2 moves we covered, as the other 2 moves usually require you to be very quick and sudden, while the Cruyff is using more of a fake in order to beat opponents. So you can use it to fake shots, crosses, passes, clearances, and things like that in order for your opponent to think that you're going to do those things, but then you can just turn out once you've faked it. I sing this move's praises in so many other videos, so I will spare you that in this one. Just recognize how important this move is, and if I could have you learn any move in all of football, I would have you learn the Cruyff. The next move we're going over is the Stepover, or a variation of the Stepover, where you make it look like you're going to take the ball forward, you quickly step over the ball, and then turn out the other way. This is a move where you really want to sell that step and lean to really make the defender think that you're going to take the ball forward or in the direction that you're faking. This is why you don't only want to step over the ball, you also want to lean forward when you're stepping over it, so it really looks like you're going to take it in that direction. I found that exaggerating the step and the lean actually helps to sell this move. Do it quickly and really step over the ball fast. There's also a variation of this move where you don't actually step over the ball, but you move your foot near the ball and do the same lean. I found that this method also is very useful, so you can kind of experiment between the two to see which one you're more comfortable with. But again, with this one, you really need to sell that lean and step, or else the move isn't really going to work. So this final move, I actually don't know the name of, but I learned it from watching Ronaldo, so I'm just going to call it the Ronaldo Turn for now. This is probably the hardest move on this list, but you will find so much use for this move if you get good at it. It's so quick and unpredictable that it works most times. It involves two quick touches where you take your first touch away from the defender, and then your second touch is almost like a Cruyff that takes the ball out the other way. This move will take a lot of practice for you to become comfortable using it in matches, but again, if you have someone that is running you down and is really closing you down, and you have the ability to turn them and you use this move, it's going to work very often. Speed is really key with this move, so as you're practicing this, try and go faster and faster and faster. You can also use a similar move that uses two quick touches like this in order to change directions. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, are there any other moves that you use in order to turn away from an opponent that I didn't mention in this video? Please put it in the comments so that we all can see it and hopefully learn that move as well. Please hit that like button if you liked what you saw, and share this video with your friends and teammates. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Simply Soccer. We release weekly soccer videos and we're pretty consistent about it. I'm going to have 2 other videos come across the screen so that you can continue to learn, watch, and become a better footballer overall. And I want to thank you one more time for tuning in to this video. I'll see you in the next one.